Hello everybody, I'm Karen Sternheimer.
And I'm Sally Raskoff.
We are here for another edition of Everyday Sociology Talk, talking about an issue that you hear a lot about these days, and that is the environment. And what does sociology have to tell us about the environmental movement or the movement towards green technologies and so forth?
And you'll notice we're back in the car, as our earlier little video blogs were.
Right.
Partly to highlight that continuing climb of gas prices and more people jumping into hybrids.
And as much as we want to get out of our cars in LA, we don't know how to. There's no way out.
It's difficult.
For some of us.
It's difficult. But we're all much more aware of it, and it's hitting our pocketbooks.
Yeah.
And other green technologies are green. Pressures are upon us with light bulbs, moving from incandescent to compact fluorescence, and recycling bottles and cans and newspapers and paper and all that stuff. We're all much more either aware of it to begin with, but also participating in it much more than we had 10 or 20 years ago. And
one question sociologists might ask is, what is that critical point at which people start taking the environmental issues seriously? And I think one of the answers to that is when it hits them personally in their pocketbooks. So we're seeing now in LA, we're getting close to $5 gasoline. We are also seeing the effects in terms of the cost of food and other prices. But beyond just those things that we might scale back on a little bit, it's easy to overlook the role that our consumer-based society really promotes waste, promotes basically things that are antithetical to the environment. Things like planned obsolescence, where we have electronic devices from a year or two ago that are, quote, obsolete, that we are encouraged to upgrade and get rid of and put in landfills.
When did you buy your last phone? When did you buy your last computer? Where did your old one go?
Did you get your new phone just because you could get one for free from your cell phone plan?
Or your new little camera?
Or your car? All of that has environmental implications.
Right.
And one of the things I think that we often overlook is that part of the profitability that's built into the way that our capitalist society operates is it makes being green actually seem like an economic liability. And so we really have to turn that around from within our economic system, and instead of thinking about the environment as something that costs us money, we have to work that into profits instead of working against profits.
Right, and realizing that some of these technologies that are seen as more green, for example, compact fluorescence, light bulbs, maybe they're just a different sort of non-green. I mean, they save money on electric bills, but they have mercury in them, so you're not supposed to throw them in the trash, since they're really considered toxic waste. Mercury is not supposed to go into the landfills and trash, like all the other things we throw away.
And I didn't know
like
that.
Regular light bulbs.
I don't know how many other people know that.
You got to read the package, or you rarely hear it on the news or anywhere. But you're supposed to, handle those as toxic waste, just like batteries. And how many of us throw batteries in the trash? And other things that we really don't see the bigger picture.
So tell us what you think. What else do you think that sociology can teach us about going green? That's all for now.